So you can load your N64 ROMs on your PSP, and different revisions, of course, has been going along. Frame rates have always been a nagging issue.
I can remember the day when they were like, "Yeah, we got Genesis on the PSP, but it runs at like 4 frames a second."
Mm-hmm. Oh,
this
one, like, if to give an example, if like I always use Mario Kart as a test.
Yeah.
Because Mario Kart or GoldenEye, I mean GoldenEye, of course, has higher frame is key to decent frame rates. But Mario Kart, I mean, pushes some. You want it to feel like you're doing some
you definitely need the smoothness from Mario Kart.
Exactly. Now, even going back like a version or two, I mean, the frame rates were horrible. I mean, it was borderline unplayable.
I'm trying to think of a game that you could play on the 64 with a bad frame rate. Maybe like Tactics Ogre.
Yeah, maybe.
There's nothing else that really.
This new version though, if let's say on the N64, let's say it ran at a solid 60 frames a second.
Doubtful, but yes.
Well, I'm just as an example. Let's say it ran at 60 frames a second. The Daedalus R11 is going to be at around 45, 50 frames a second. It runs really smoothly. Really? It's getting better and better. And in my opinion, the only thing that this version is lacking is audio. And I mean, audio is one of those afterthoughts. They want to get the frame rate smoothed out, and then
so there's
audio.
No audio in
there is no audio
in
any game right now.
That's some pretty impressive emulation, though, because I was playing Jet Set Radio Future on my 360, which is heads and tails above the Xbox, and it was chugging pretty decently, considering this is like an official emulated, like of the Xbox. Like it was on some parts, like it was. Like half frame rate, I was actually pretty surprised.
Yeah. Well, as old as the 64 is, it's not easy to emulate. Even if you get the 64 emulators for a computer, which they've been working on, well, since the 64 came out, they're still nowhere near perfect. There are some games, and it's weird. Like a game like Rampage for the 64 is one of the hardest to emulate on the computer. Something to do with big textures or something like that. It runs like crap.
Yeah, I got Nestor J posted up on the website the other day too. For anybody that's into even more classic games, I mean, of course, there are NES and Super NES emulators available for the PSP. Cool thing about Nestor J, it runs really, really well. 2, for PSP users, you can play head-to-head over Wi-Fi, or your standard Wi-Fi connection on PSP. You can play head-to-head, sports games, things like that. It's built right into Nestor J.
Cool. Interesting. Do they have a MAME emulator for PSP?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, cool.
They have a Genesis, MAME.
Everything that's
pretty much
within the realm of possibility they've got probably.
Well, even PS1 now. I mean, although with PS3 it officially supports PS1 games on the PSP.
Yeah.
There are lots of ways around that. I'll get the files posted up here right away, and some tutorials, and
I gotta buy one of those.
How to rip your PS1 games and play them on your PSP. Multi-disc games are still an issue, but so you're not gonna be playing Final Fantasy VII or anything like that. But I mean, how many thousands?
Final Fantasy VII is not really a portable game as it is, though.
Nah.
Speaking of PSP, have you guys heard about the redesign that might be coming out?
Yes. Yeah.
I've heard everything from like. That it might be, what's the right word?
Gay?
Not Pentagon. No,
a Pentagon?
No, not Pentagon. Sorry, that's
Trapezoid.
Trapezoid, and people scoff at that, but I think that's a brilliant idea because that would, when you think about it, like when I play PSP for more than an hour, my hands go numb, like they fall asleep, and
really,
yeah, because anything that uses shoulder buttons, and I think if you had it, so it was more like a trapezoid. It would actually be a lot more comfortable when you think about it. Like, it's gonna look a little goofy.
In my hands.
It's gonna look a little goofy, but
okay.
Yeah, Sean's gonna Google it while we continue to talk. Just
they
Google
had,
PSP redesign. I've seen like, I guess what you would say is theoretical design or
like this could be the equivalent of like the Chrome Xbox. It was just a big giant X. Like it's not necessarily gonna look like this, but
yeah, exactly. But not a whole lot going on in the PSP community right now. Some good titles. Apparently this fall is got a huge lineup. No, that's not it, Sean.
No, that's not.
No. Basically, picture a standard PSP, except instead of so rounded at the sides, it's comes down more like this.
Okay.
For anybody that I'm making 2 L's and holding them on angles in my left and right hands. It's hard to describe.
It's a pentagon. Go look at Pentagon. Yeah. Or not Pentagon, sorry, trapezoid. Don't look at Pentagon. That would be incredibly uncomfortable.
Look up isosceles triangle.
Go look up geometry and go back to school.
Yeah, that's right.
Are you smarter than a 5th grader?
So that's about it for PSP stuff right now.
Other than Puzzle Quest,
Wii.
awesome.
I mean, I have an aversion to the Wii. Jordan, you own a Wii.
I own a Wii. You know what? I actually just got internet back. I just got wireless. I'm liking the internet browser. Actually, it's very convenient.
Yeah, because it's
a number of people agree with you. Yeah.
Like I know people have argued, like, well, I can just go on my computer. It's like, yeah, but you're not sitting there on a 52-inch screen, like, oh, this game is loading or something, or oh, it's commercial. I'm gonna go check out some game news or something, and it's right there, and it's convenient. It works well, except for some reason it actually slowed down my internet. Instead of like usually when you turn the Wii off, the LED on it goes red.
Mm-hmm.
But for some reason, when it froze when I was watching some videos from TV Links or whatever, it went yellow, and I didn't think anything of it. And then my entire internet in the entire house ran at 20 kilobytes a second.
Yikes!
They were using you for shared hosting.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. Maybe my Wii was folding.
Yeah, folding at home with Wii.
Yeah, because it's so powerful.
How often do you use your Wii though? Like, do you? What was the last game you played on?
Game I played on it?
Yeah.
Oh God. I have to think about this one actually.
Was it a launch title?
No. Super Paper Mario.
Okay.
I played a good amount of that. It's fun, but it's I don't know. I just got my internet back, and 360
should have been a GameCube game.
So you paid $249 Canadian for Super Paper Mario machine.
Hey, at least you can say it.
Hey, Zelda, Trauma Center.
Oh, Trauma Center.
Apparently, Madden is really, really good on the Wii. Apparently, it's the best version of Madden I've heard. Internet browser.
I could see that being a lot of fun.
Wii Sports is a lot of fun.
Having to throw your football passes.
Wii Sports is a lot of fun, although limited. Like Wii Sports. You know what? My sister, who totally the opposite of a gamer, has a phone again.
We're gonna unplug that phone. Or hey, it's a cordless. We could have just tossed it upstairs.
I think my wife. Yeah. No, I don't know how. I just, like I said, I have an aversion to the Wii.
Well, like I said, I know people think it's oh, that's just they're not gonna get the casual audience, but it works. My sister, who doesn't like games, every time she had a friend over when I lived with her, she would show them Wii Sports, and they would play bowling, and they would love it. You couldn't tell them oh, hey, look, let's come play Gears of War, and they'd be like, why?
Well, see, to me, that's the market that they're trying to capture, and it's something that I'm just not interested in.
And you know what you're saying about being able to get casual gamers, the same thing I did with the dance pad and DDR.
Yeah.
You don't need a system.
Or the guitar and Guitar Hero.
Yeah, exactly.
They also play that a lot,
You
too.
don't need a whole system to do that. When we've got the iToy for the PS2 and PS3 and
but
all those
again,
other things.
When you're trying to get this, what's it called? The
Synergy?
Casual player. No, the casual player. Yeah, you can have the iToy, but the fact of the matter is, the PlayStation 3 is still $680 here.
Oh,
I'm not going to go,